So the first item I would like to address, and we heard a little about it in public comment this morning, is the federal review of California's coastal management program. As many of you may be aware, on May 20th, 2026, the U.S. Department of Commerce directed the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, to conduct a full formal review of the California Coastal Management Program under the Coastal Zone Management Act. Under this newly announced review, NOAA has opened a public comment period to gather information from stakeholders that will be used to determine next steps related to the certification of California's coastal management program under the Federal Coastal Zone Management Act. For context, these reviews are known as Section 312 reviews, named after the CZMA section detailing the review process, and they typically happen every 5 to 10 years. The California program, which was approved in 1978 and includes the State Coastal Conservancy, the San Francisco Bay Conservation and Development Commission, and the Coastal Commission, has undergone many successful reviews since the CCMP was approved by NOAA, routinely earning high praise for its innovative and rigorous approach to coastal protection. In short, California and the federal government have had a really successful partnership for decades. This federal review process is one of the most powerful tools in the CZMA. For almost 50 years, the Coastal Commission has worked in partnership with the federal government to ensure federal projects that could affect our state's resources include relevant siting criteria and protective measures consistent with our federal coastal management program. California, like other coastal states, has exercised this authority to keep sand on the beach, fish in the sea, homes above floodwaters, and maritime businesses thriving. Some of you may recall that NOAA just evaluated our program in 2024 and issued a final draft report in May of 2025. The process included extensive meetings with state coastal zone management staff, public officials, other government staff members, and other interested parties. The federal government also held a virtual meeting open to the general public to solicit input on the coastal program. Although NOAA completed a final draft report finding the successful implementation and enforcement of California's federally approved program last year, the report was never finalized. The current action, thus, to reopen the review to California's program is unprecedented and very concerning. Unlike our previous reviews, we have received little information from the Department of Commerce on the basis of this review, apart from what is included in the Federal Register notice and a social media post by Secretary Lutnick announcing the review. Unfortunately, some of the rhetoric in the X post is inflammatory and raises questions about the motivation of this review and what the federal government hopes to achieve. I bring this to your attention today for two reasons. First, to raise awareness and increase your awareness and increase public awareness of this federal review and share why it matters. I also want to ensure all members of the public are notified of your opportunity to provide public comment as a part of this process. So why does this federal review matter? As I said before, given that we were just reviewed last year, this new review is unprecedented. To our knowledge, this is also the first time in the CZMA's 50-year history that such a review has focused only on specific commercial industries: offshore oil production, pipeline maintenance, spaceport infrastructure, desalination projects, and undersea cables. The Department of Commerce has also stated explicitly that the information gathered during the public comment period will be used, and I quote, to determine next steps related to the certification of California's coastal management program. So what does this mean? If the California Coastal Management Program is decertified, California would lose its ability to review federal and federally regulated projects that impact our coastal and bay communities. This would include, for example, our authority to review more routine actions such as sand management and changes to land use on federal public lands. And it would affect our ability to review new proposals for drilling off of California. CZMA gives states and the public a voice on federal activities on our coastlines. Most of the time, we do not raise objections to federal actions and activities. However, like other states, California does not always agree with actions proposed by the federal government. CZMA provides a venue for states and the public to voice those concerns and was specifically written to navigate conflicts between federal and state governments. For nearly 5 decades, we have worked successfully with numerous federal administrations to strike an appropriate balance between federal policy priorities and consistency with state coastal protections. If our program is decertified, that balance would be upended, and California would lose its ability to weigh in on federal coastal actions. Federal activities impacting our coast could be planned and implemented behind closed doors without any public hearing and little consideration of how those activities would have impacted the lives and livelihoods of our coastal communities, including fishermen, residents, and local businesses. This is all especially concerning given this administration's intention to open up California's offshore waters and public lands to new oil and gas drilling, despite the long-standing objections of the people of California. California is the only state program being targeted in this manner at this time. However, this isn't just a California problem. The outcome of this review could set a precedent that could be used by this or any future administration to silence other state programs. It is truly a Pandora's box that, if opened, threatens to tear apart half a century of successful coastal management. That would be a travesty. We will do everything in our power to avoid that outcome, including defending our program and demonstrating to the Department of Commerce that we, along with our sister agencies, BCDC and the Coastal Conservancy, have diligently and consistently implemented California's coastal management program. We will take full advantage of the opportunity to walk through our federal consistency record with the Department of Commerce and with the public. We welcome a fair and transparent review. As a timely example, I would draw your attention to the broad range of federal consistency items on the agenda today. A fiber optic cable project, a Navy project at Point Mugu, an offshore aquaculture project, and a national forest fire prevention and vegetation management project. These items provide a good representation of our coastal management program in action and exemplify the benefits it provides. As described in the staff recommendations, our federal consistency review has resulted in mutually agreeable measures to protect marine life, fisheries, world-renowned scenic and recreational sites in Big Sur, and critical runway infrastructure on a Navy base. These reviews were conducted with meaningful public and tribal engagement, minimal conflict, and significant project improvements that don't limit federal agency priorities or economic development. And this brings me to the second reason I draw this to everyone's attention today. I want to make sure that members of the public are aware that they also have an opportunity to provide public comment as part of this federal review. The Federal Register notice hyperlinked in my written report, as well as on the highlights banner at the bottom of our homepage, provides you with full detail on how to engage. In short, there are 3 opportunities to make your voice heard. First, you can sign up to speak in person at the public hearing being held on August 10th from 2 to 6 p.m. at the Hilton Santa Monica Hotel and Suites. Second, you can sign up to speak online via Adobe Connect on either August 11th from 2 to 5 p.m. or August 12th from 2 to 5 p.m. And third, you can submit a written public comment to NOAA by August 22nd. I strongly encourage you to engage and make your voice heard. This is our coast and our voice. So with that, I'll conclude my comments on the federal review. It is my understanding that in addition to general public comment, there are additional speakers that want to speak on this topic, and if it's agreeable to the chair, I might recommend that we go ahead and take that public comment. And then after all that's concluded, I can move on to the rest of the items in my executive director report.
Thank you. Director Huckelbridge, should the commissioners, I'm sure they have questions, should we do questions on this now or after we take public comment? What's your recommendation?
I would recommend we take public comment first, and then we can move to commissioner questions and comments.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Okay, Simone.
Perfect. Molly Trope shows that she should be in person, maybe Zoom, but I don't see a hand up. So we'll go to Carla Garabe Garcia, followed by Jennifer Savage, Anna Basis, and Tomas Valdez. They are all on Zoom. Please go ahead and accept. We're promoting you to panelists. Carla Garcia. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Good morning. My name is Carla Girabe Garcia, and I'm here on behalf of Monterey Bay Aquarium as the California Ocean Conservation Policy Manager. Wanted to thank you, Director Huckelbridge, for bringing attention to the Trump administration's federal review of the California's Coastal Management Program. Our team at Monterey Bay Aquarium is extremely concerned about the statewide ramifications of the potential defunding and decertification of the state's coastal management program. This federal review threatens the future management of our coastline, which is particularly vulnerable given climate change and the recent federal efforts to expand development without environmental safeguards along and off our coast. We believe that this review is unnecessary given the previous review only 2 years ago, and see it as a clear tactic to target one of the most effective tools for states to protect local coastal resources. We're also concerned that this will be replicated throughout other coastal states. And I just want to close by noting that we really appreciate the Commission and all state agency efforts since 1978 that have resulted in the California Coastal Management Program consistently receiving strong evaluations for balancing coastal protection, environmental stewardship, public access, and economic opportunity. We will be participating in NOAA's public comment period and really encourage others throughout the state to make their voices heard as well. So thank you.
Thank you. I believe I found Molly Trope. Molly, if you can unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you. Good morning, Chair Harmon and Commissioners. My name is Molly Troop, and I'm the Science and Program Manager at Santa Barbara Channel Keeper. Our mission is to protect and restore the Santa Barbara Channel and its watersheds. I'm here today to extend our gratitude to the Commission and to your staff for the exceptional work that you do each day to implement the extraordinary California Coastal Act. Thank you for thoughtfully evaluating development in the coastal zone and ensuring that developers consider and minimize or eliminate adverse impacts to both public resources and natural resources, including public access, terrestrial and marine habitats, and water quality, among other things. Channel Keeper recognizes and is grateful for the 50 years of work that has been extraordinarily instrumental in helping to keep our California coast with the natural features that it has today. We are also supportive of and grateful for the federal consistency review authority that the Commission has over federal activities that impact California's coastal uses and resources. In this moment of extraordinary scrutiny of the California's Coastal Management Program by the federal administration, we stand by and support the Coastal Commission. We will be submitting comments to NOAA to voice our support, and we'll be encouraging members of our community to do the same. Thank you.
Okay, Anna Basius and Tomas Valdez, and then Jennifer Savage.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Anna Basius, and I'm a legal and policy intern with the Environmental Action Committee of West Marin. EAC is one of the proud co-sponsors of Senate Resolution 136 and Assembly Resolution 149, which celebrate the California Coastal Act's 50th anniversary, especially amid the federal administration's offshore drilling agenda. The administration's new review of California's coastal management program is a clear attempt to further that agenda. California's coastal management program has been performing successfully for the last 50 years and has transformed shoreline resilience by protecting critical habitats, expanding public access, and investing in natural infrastructure. Over 50,000 acres of wetlands, dunes, and open space has been conserved, which the public now has access to through over 2,500 access ways and 875 miles of the California Coastal Trail now open. It has faced no issues since its inception. The Coastal Management Program is vital to the health and economic stability of California's coastal communities, as well as the coastal ecosystems upon which they are dependent. In the face of federal attacks on conservation efforts, both on and off the coast, Californians deserve a voice in how the coastline they call home is managed. The oversight authority conferred by the Commission, the Coastal Conservancy, and the San Francisco Bay Conservation and Development Commission protects California's coastal resources and public access, ensuring the public has a voice when federal actions impact us. This review is an attempt to stifle Californians' objections to the federal government's efforts to develop oil and gas off our coast. We support California's coastal management program as well as the Commission in its exceptional work to preserve our amazing coastline. The Coastal Commission is not alone in this fight. All across the state, organizations and Californians are preparing to let the administration know how much we value this program. Thank you.
Okay, Tomas Valadez?
Good morning, Chair Harmon, Commissioners and staff. My name is Tomas Valadez, and I serve as the California Policy Manager with ASUL. I want to express our strong support for the California Coastal Commission and the California Coastal Management Program at a time when both face significant threats from the Trump administration. For decades, California has demonstrated that protecting our coast also means protecting the people who depend on it. The Coastal Management Program is more than an environmental framework. It is a commitment to environmental justice, equitable public access, and meaningful community participation. For many communities, especially those that have historically been excluded from coastal decision-making, the coast is a source of culture, recreation, and economic opportunity. Protecting California's authority to manage its coastline is essential to ensuring that communities continue to have a voice and equitable access to the benefits of a healthy coast. We appreciate the Commission's steadfast leadership in defending the Coastal Act and advancing policies that strengthen climate resilience, environmental stewardship, and access for all Californians. ASUL stands with the Commission in protecting the Coastal Management Program and the values of equity, inclusion, and environmental justice that make California's coast a resource for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Jennifer Savage, did you want to join us? Let me try again. Promoting you to panelist again. Okay, she declined it, so I'm assuming she doesn't want to. No more speakers.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, well, before I turn to my colleagues, I'll just say this is incredibly concerning, and I appreciate the opportunity to ask questions and to learn, I guess, what we can about this process. So with that, I'll ask my colleagues, are there any questions? Yes, Commissioner Eckerly, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I also appreciate the opportunity to talk about this and to make sure that the public is aware of what's happening. This federal review really threatens how the coast of California is managed and its resources and our access conserved. As Dr. Huckelbridge mentioned, for nearly 50 years, the state has managed our coast and the shoreline of San Francisco Bay through a balance of local community and tribal priorities, economic opportunities, public access, and environmental protection. The California Natural Resources Agency is taking this threat seriously, and we are deeply engaged in active response in close partnership with leadership and staff from the Coastal Commission, the Coastal Conservancy, and the Bay Conservation and Development Commission. Officials from the Newsom administration will also attend the in-person public hearing in Santa Monica on August 10th to provide testimony on the importance of this long-standing federal and state partnership that protects California's coast, our communities, and our thriving coastal economy. For people who want to make their voices heard, we should all be doing this. But if you aren't sure exactly what to say, the Surfrider Foundation is going to be posting key messages and talking points on their website later this morning to help members of the public prepare for effective verbal and written comments. So I encourage you all to get out there either in person or online to make your voices heard.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, Vice Chair Hart.
Thank you. I just wanted to express my strong support for the comments made by Dr. Huckelbridge that I thought were, I could not align myself more strongly with everything that you said. Clearly, this is the dramatic action that NOAA appears to be embarking on, decertification being the most serious and dramatic action that could be taken by NOAA. And as you as you described, Dr. Huckelbridge, would remove not only just the authority and funding, but the thing that concerns me maybe the most is the ability of the public to understand and hear about and be able to comment on all of these federal actions that are taken on the California coast, which is so critically important to everyone in California. And really, the coastal economy is such a mainstay, as was stated, I think, by the Resources Secretary in his comments. So I just wanted to appreciate everything that that we're doing at the Coastal Commission, everything that the Resources Agency and our state government is doing, and I really could not encourage more strongly the participation of the public at this time. Thank you.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yeah, I just want to elevate the concern in relation to the other states that have these programs. I think that this is could be a really significant harbinger, and I think they should all be paying attention. They should all be paying attention and commenting on this process or whatever this is in this moment. So, thanks.
Okay. Oh, Commissioner Escalante, is your hand up?
Thank you, Chair Hart. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you, yeah.
Okay, thank you. And, I want to be constructive, and I want to sort of, first, gratitude to all the advocates. I think all the words really resonated, and I appreciate their commitment to continue to fight to protect our coast, our public access, our natural resources. This is a time, this next few months are critical in terms of history of not just the state or this country, but really the world. So I appreciate everybody sort of getting ready for a significant fight, and our staff working so hard and fighting some of this back and making a strong case legally. However, I just can't, I really can't help myself. But, I feel like the Trump administration is selling this nation piece by piece to the highest bidder with the lowest morals. And some of what worries me the most is that this fixation to really destroy California's people and our environment, our government, our spirit, and ultimately our economy is at full display in these plans, not just to overturn decades and decades long of legal precedent that has been fought and proven time and time again in the courts and in public opinion, this plans to overturn and violate all these laws that protect our coast and our public access. And this particular threat to take a state park and hand it over as a big gift to big oil, it really just, all of this makes my blood boil. But California is 40 million strong, and even though there is a segment of the population that condones this type of corruption and lawlessness, most of us adore our state and our Constitution and our people with a passion and with courage and enormous respect. And I know that this regime is counting on our apathy and hopelessness to paralyze us into silence. But the world is looking at us, and Californians, we need to lead this fight. And I think this is a perfect stage for us to stand up together and show up in force and tell this federal government that not in California. So anyway, I'll wrap that up. Thank you for indulging me with that time.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner. Okay. Seeing no further comments, I'll just join with Vice Chair Hart in encouraging everyone to get involved and make comments. I will be there myself in person in August with our executive director and just appreciate the engagement. With that, I will return Dr. Huckelbridge to you.
Thank you, Chair. And again, I want to thank the members of the public and organizations who showed up today in support. We appreciate it. And again, encourage you to use your voice in the coming months. So on to some lighter topics.